My parents didn't let me, which is why I have a stupid heart on my back.
No. All right, thank you. Reed Timmer is with us. Reed has been with us before. He's a guy who stars in Storm Chasers. He has a new web series called Tornado Chasers.
Look at this, right in front of us, Gusnado. You can see it spinning, I think. There's a funnel above it. These are all land spouts forming, and that's the main one. It's a funnel. Oh my God, look at that. We can intercept this one, we're gonna go in for it. This road should continue east the whole way. Oh my God, look at it getting wider. Oh, yeah. Yes, yes, we got it, we can intercept this. Oh my God, look at wow! There's a funnel above it. Happening. Get your phone, Right, we're back GPS wise. We can keep going due east. Chris, you got it?
Here he is. He's in one piece still. Last time you were here, I asked you the question, are you nuts? And your answer was?
Probably a little bit.
A little bit helps.
Probably a lot.
A little bit. I want to bring Rick Dickert in because he is a guy who's wanted to be a star.
No, hold on. Yes. I'm doing this interview.
No, hold on. No, you're on with us.
The desk was talking to me there.
I know, but you told us to hold on.
So
okay,
this is mucho important.
Reed is here right now. Have you guys ever met?
Yeah. I think we talked last time I was on.
Oh, okay. Now, this time you're chasing tornadoes, not any storm, but tornadoes.
Yeah, but I mean, we chase tornadoes, hurricanes, blizzards. We chase both with Superstorm Sandy. I mean, so, yeah, I mean, pretty much any form of extreme
You're like
weather.
the go-to guy now. When there's a storm, you get the call.
I mean, we'll chase storms anyway, honestly.
Yeah.
So we chase.
How can you answer that question? We say, yes, I am the go-to guy.
He is, though.
You're a go-to guy. A go-to guy. How's that? Fair enough.
There's lots of storm chasers out there contributing.
You mentioned Sandy. A lot of this is very entertaining to us, but it's also very serious. Sandy hit you immediately, and you knew there would be a nor'easters coming in right afterwards. You headed right there. What did you run into there?
Well, we were actually planning on being there for landfall in New Jersey, but the storm came in a little bit sooner. And as we were looking at the models, we knew it was going to be the worst case scenario. The wind field was expanding. We saw buoy reports of like 25-foot waves just offshore of New Jersey. So we knew it was going to be bad, and we couldn't get there in time for the storm surge. So we dropped south and covered the blizzard in the mountains of West Virginia. And it was like 70-mile-an-hour winds, 4 to 5 inch per hour snowfall rates.
Where were you aiming to go in Jersey? Based on what you saw, where did you think it was going to touch down?
Atlantic City. Actually, the models are really consistent on taking it into southern New Jersey, which is bad because then you have all those easterly winds piling up the water.
Rick Dickert, Rick, you're listening to this. You're
I am listening to this.
Aren't you?
You know, here's the deal, Reed. I chase stratus clouds every day, so I live vicariously through what you guys do, and it's amazing. And one question I have for you, especially with the chasing of tornadoes, there's so many more chasers out there now, and are you noticing that? Is it becoming a risk factor, dangers to some of those guys who aren't even that experienced?
Yeah, I think there's been some bad situations where you have these big traffic jams in front of tornadoes, but I think the more eyes that we have out there in the field, the better, because then you have more reports coming in. Tornadoes rarely go unreported or unseen by storm chasers, which helps out in the warning process. But most of the tornadoes in 2012 were way up in Canada or the northern plains, so we actually didn't see hardly any storm chasers this year.
And you guys are so dialed in now. You have so much data available. So it seems like most of you chasers all are convening on the same storm, right?
Yeah, that happens quite a bit, but with the big outbreaks, you'll have several storms, even up to 20 or 30 supercells like we had with the April 27, 2011 outbreak. And then you have storm chasers spread out on multiple storms, and that's when having more eyes in the field really helps out.
But does it bother you when you realize you got some amateurs out there?
It's never really bothered us too much because the crowd really thins out when you get within about a quarter mile.
They start chickening out?
I think that they just stay safely back because we have the armor on the vehicle, which allows us to get a little
and
closer.
a lot of them know your vehicle, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so I imagine they just follow you.
It can happen, I think, sometimes, but I mean, there's, a lot of.
What do we see? Let's listen. Okay, let's listen.
Oh boy. Woo! Woo! That was in North Dakota. So northern North Dakota near the Saskatchewan border, and that tornado actually formed in Canada, moved southeast.
How far can a tornado go?
Oh, they can travel across, even over 50 miles sometimes, the long track ones. They're really fast-moving tornadoes are the
So
longer.
do you ever get picked up and dropped?
No, thankfully, but we have hydraulic spikes that'll go into the ground and then go 3 or 4 inches into the ground, and that keeps us
High
anchored.
tech.
So.
Yeah, go ahead, Rick.
That's crazy. Now, I have another question for you, Reed. I wanted to know if you are somebody who hasn't chased, and even guys who just have a fascination with the weather and haven't studied meteorology, and they want to go out to Chase Alley there and chase storms. What would your suggestion be in terms of connecting with some reliable crews?
I think a good start is to do Skywarn training courses at your local National Weather Service office to kind of learn the basics of storm structure. You could also go with one of the tour companies out there, or link up with some veteran storm chasers.
So
and
there are tour companies doing this?
yeah, we actually run a tour company, Extreme Tornado Tours.
Really?
That's what, Maria wants to try and do that.
Uh-huh.
They have vans
Not
with
this
Lexan
Maria.
roofs.
Rick wants to go to work for you.
Yeah.
I'm going too.
Yeah, Maria and Rick will have a little date.
Let's do a little more. Let's look at tornadoes a little more. When you realize when you're in the middle of this thing, you are professionals. You know the deal, but you also know at any moment anything can happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always in the back of your mind, but it was interesting. The first year we were intercepting tornadoes, we kind of blocked that out because you're so focused on getting in the path of it, and then you don't realize it until that first wind gust.
Now, were you actually able to get an HD camera inside one of these things, and how did you do that?
Yeah, the first one was a ground-based instrument probe. It was basically on a 300-pound block of cement that we'd deploy in the path. And then we decided that a mobile version of that is better, so that's why we have the armored.
Look at that
armored
shot.
vehicle.
Got up inside
You can
it.
watch Tornado Chasers at tvnweather.com. tvnweather.com, right? Mm-hmm. Reed, thank you. You're still in one piece.
Thanks for having me.
Stay that way.
Yeah, okay.
Suits you.
Coming up a little bit later, Rachel McFarland, sister of
Fashion Police. Joining us now is the newest member of our E family, Juliana's co-host on E! News, Terrence Jenkins.
Thank you.
So nice to have you on.
I'm super excited about being here. Thank you for having me.
And you and I really have a lot in common because we both know how difficult it is to work with Juliana. Your career is fascinating because you're not just an interviewer, you're also an actor. I mean, the first time I saw